Don't fall for it. Find out how to avoid one of Satan's most common schemes in this episode of 5 Minutes Closer. I'm Vaughn Weatherford, and this is 5 Minutes Closer. For the next 5 minutes, let's explore some biblical truths and apply them to your life. No podcast, including this one, can transform your life or give you what you really need. Only Jesus can do that. You can find out why in what I've called the first five episodes of 5 Minutes Closer. Each following episode explores scriptural truths that, if you follow them, will bring you 5 minutes closer to the person God created you to be. Let's see if we can get you 5 minutes closer. Satan is crafty, but not all that inventive. He uses the same temptations he's been using since the Garden of Eden. Such was the case for the nation of Israel as they waited for Moses at the foot of Mount Sinai. Satan trotted out an oldie but a goodie. He convinced the people of Israel they could do it better than God. Here's how the book of Exodus describes it in chapter 32, verse 1. When the people saw that Moses delayed to come down from the mountain, the people gathered themselves together to Aaron and said to him, "Up, make us gods who shall go before us. As for this Moses, the man who brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we do not know what has become of him." The people asked Aaron to make them a god, and Aaron attempted to do precisely that by making a cow. A cow? Really? That was the best Aaron could come up with? Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the God who brought you up out of Egypt, Bessie! How ridiculous is this? In less time than it takes to grow a tomato, the people of Israel are already giving up on God. They blame Moses. All he does is go up there on that mountain and talk to God. What good is that going to do us? The reality, though, is not that hard to see. Their anger is really towards God. Moses was not the one who brought them up out of Egypt, sustained them in the wilderness, or promised to bring them to a new land. God was. Their impatience, though directed at Moses, was actually all about God. God was not working fast enough for them. They'd been eating this manna stuff every day, stuck out in the hot sun, traveling for what seemed like forever. Now they were stuck at the bottom of this mountain. God was taking too long. It was time to devise a better plan. They called on Aaron to create a god who would take over. In other words, we can do this better. We can create a much better God than the one Moses is always yammering about. Leave him here. We'll find our own. That's going to work out well. That's like the mud pies my friends and I used to make in the backyard. It was such a great idea. We wouldn't bother our parents, and they wouldn't have to make us dessert. We made it look just exactly like the pies our moms made. I know, because I used my mother's pie pans. That worked out about as well as it sounds. We destroyed my mother's pans and got incredibly muddy in the process. Not to mention that the pies tasted like dirt. Probably because they were made of dirt. It's amazing how that works. Sugar and cinnamon, good pie. Dirt, bad pie. That's what we need to understand about taking the controls out of God's hands. Many times in life, God's timing will not be our timing. Satan might tempt us, just as he did the people of Israel, to think God's taking too long. You can do this much better. When you think that, remember, sugar and cinnamon, good pie. Dirt, bad pie. The mud pie may look good, but don't let it fool you. It's still dirt. Our way is never going to work the way we think it will. Sooner or later, it will still be a mouthful of mud. Don't be fooled when Satan trots out his greatest hits in your life. God's way is always better. And now, you're 5 minutes closer. My prayer is that these 5 minutes have challenged you, inspired you, and caused you to consider applying God's message for your life from His Word. To find out more, visit our website at 5minutescloser.com. Join me next time to see if we can get you 5 minutes closer.